Hey y'all, thanks for joining me on another Craft with Anna adventure video. This will be the last for 2013 and a bit different from my usual process style scrapbooking or card making. I invite you to come along with me on a visual journey through my last year of scrapbooking. Let's start here with the first page I entered in my Craft with Anna 2 Peas in a Bucket photo gallery. It was inspired by one of my favorite scrappers, Shemelle Lane. Ever since I started watching her on YouTube last October, my style has definitely taken a turn towards more patterns, more layers. You can see that I like to add a few different fonts for each of my titles. And you'll see that another style of hers that I incorporated into my own is just having 2 photos stacked right next to each other instead of scattered about the page. I'm a lot better at, or more confident, mixing different layers in my embellishment groupings and creating clusters, working with visual triangles. There are a few links on my blog to other sources of inspiration for me, but Shemelle Lane was definitely really influential in this last year of coming up with memory keeping ideas. I feel really confident not only building my own pages, but also leading my friends or students or family members, and sometimes in building pages that they love too. And that's really important, I think, to love the pages that you create. When you look at the pages with your family, they're going to hear the pride that you have in telling why these memories captured are special to you. And one of the reasons I wanted to make this video was in case something ever happens to my albums, at least I'll have some record of, the love and effort that I was putting into trying to capture some of those beautiful times that you have with your family when they grow up so quickly. The moments are so fleeting. One of the things that I love about scrapbooking is capturing the story in photos. The story of your life through photos. Here's a spread all about, my second pregnancy, which I documented a lot more of actually being able to go back and see how you looked, in this case, pregnant, and then finding the words to go with the story, to have preserved for the future generations. I can't believe I'm showing you this, but yes, this is my actual delivery. My daughter Sunday earlier this year. She's going to be 1 in February. I've been really trying to get more of Ray's perspective in our albums, and so here's a little bit of handwritten journaling from him, and you'll see that in other places I'll point out in the albums to come. My best friend from elementary school actually took these pictures. Here she is holding Sunday for the first time. We didn't let her touch her the day she was born. One of the biggest hurdles for me in scrapbooking was always the journaling part, but now I start thinking of the story I want to share and how I can do it almost before I even take the photographs I'll use. I'm more conscious of the images I want to find with my camera. So scrapbooking for me has almost become a visual journey of what my family does together, or just a picture of what our everyday life can entail. Sometimes you'll see these little sticky notes that I put on here. If I don't have the date available, I just write it down and then stick it on the page. And other times you'll see blanks. Sometimes I put patterned paper in there, and sometimes I just leave it blank, and then I usually have a picture set in mind that I'm going to go back and fill that in my album in the future, if I remember. The room we use for scrapbooking is central to our main living space, and it's easy for me to pop in and out throughout the day just to fiddle and adjust pages that are in process, and I also really like the contrasting colors. I'm going to look through my photos until I find any of them that I think will look nice. Here's a great picture of my husband and I when I was largely pregnant last Christmas with my now 8-month-old. I think I'll use this picture of my older daughter Rainier in a hat that my mother knit her. I really like the way the swirls on the side of this print in the gold tones. It's just so really warm, and so is the photo, so I like the way that it looks, and I'm not going to overthink it any more than that. Now, referring to my sketch, in my sketch actually calls for 2 photos, but I'm only going to use 1 photo, so I'm going to use some 4x6 you could call them journaling cards. The first one I see that I like is going to be the one that I use. Now, if when I go to scrapbook these at the crop, if I don't like it, I don't have to use it. If I'm not feeling the page, I don't have to scrap it. I'm going to have plenty of other options. So you can take as much or as little time on this process as you want to, but the more kits you have, the more you have to choose from. Now I need some little strips of paper, so I'm going to shop my scrap bucket and just pull out anything that I want. This is a cut apart sheet, and I may decide to use this, or I may use the cut aparts in something else, but I'll have it with me. Anything that I lay down, if I don't immediately like it, I put it back in the bucket, and if I do like it, I just leave it there. So it's a great way to kind of get rid of some scrap papers that are lying around too. And in each kit, I try to include a variety of patterns. I always have a solid background of some kind, about 3 pattern papers, usually 2 big and 1 small, or 2 small and 1 big. However, I decide that I like to pull things. I slide these into the sheet protector also, and I'll show you my no sketch method. I start with my 2 photos, and I'm going to gather papers in the order, pretty much just like what I said. I want 2 patterns, one of them is going to be big and maybe 2 of them small, or 1 big and 2 small, however it works. And let me tell you, collection packs are your friends. This is a close to my heart collection, and I can just pull all these coordinating colors out. There's oftentimes printed papers on both of them, and if I like it, I leave it. If I don't like it, I don't leave it. Remember, collection packs are your friends. You can't go wrong with mixing and matching patterns that the designers have already done for you. Sometimes I choose a paper that I think looks really nice, but then I decide to go out of my comfort zone and I choose a little bolder pattern, because look at the back of this, it's very neutral. So don't be afraid to make bold choices. Oftentimes the reverse is something very subtle. I've got everything I need here. I have 3 patterns, a solid, and at least one of my papers is a striped piece. Now I'm going to grab a journaling card to slip onto the side. This will be really easy to incorporate and highlight some of the colors. I've got all the things I need, and now I see this flower pot in the background, and she also has a flower in her hair. I think I'm going to include these stamps to take along with me. So I can make a lot of different things. We also keep shells in that flower bucket, and this is kind of like shell reminiscent, so I could see a lot of potential with this stamp set. And now it's time to try it again. This time let's work off of our embellishments. You know how tempting it is to get those super cute little sticker packs, but what do you do with them? You find homes for them so they don't get forgotten in your stash. Okay, I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did before. I'm just going to pull random pieces of scrap out of my stash, and if I like it, I leave it. If I don't like it, I'm not going to leave it. What's really great about using the stickers to choose the papers is that I'm going to find color combinations that maybe I wouldn't normally have chosen. Like, I probably wouldn't have put this green and gold and brown together. The brown in that first piece of paper is actually kind of a purpley gold, but it looks really good together, doesn't it? And look how fast that kit came together. I can slide it into the sheet protector and boom, another one's ready to go. And can you believe it? In just this short amount of time, we created 4 to-go kits to go. Now you may be asking yourself, but what can I do with all these kits before I go to my crop? Do you have any of these pizza boxes laying around? They are great for storage. I can put all of these kits and the stamp set right inside the pizza box and close it up. I can stack as many of them as I have on top of each other and carry them pretty easily. They are a little on the thin side though, so I'll show you what I like to use when I go to a crop. I get out these big plastic containers and they keep things organized really well. This is something that I have packed from my last crop. Look, here's the little kit all ready to go. No pictures, but bonus. Some little odds and ends and a big layout I never finished, and oh my gosh, this is a real treasure to find. These are some great pictures of my brother when he got engaged to his now wife of 2 years. Yeah, I'm a little bit behind, but you know, if I wasn't behind, what would I have to do in cropping? I gotta have something to go on, right? So, oh, and here's another sheet protector in here too, so I can pack that full of stuff since these things have been just fine as they have been for however long they've been in here. So I'll repack my things in here, layer them in here so that I'm kind of forced to do some of these things I haven't done. Let's go find some pictures for this kit, okay? While we're at it, let's find some pictures for this kit too. I found some great pictures to put in here of my grandma and my mom with Sunday. And then a cute photo of the two girls with some stickers to go into this kit here. Here's a look at the other kits I was able to put together. Well, all I can say is wowza, we packed up a lot of great kits today. Thanks so much for helping me get everything ready for the Creating Keepsakes convention coming up in just a couple weeks. Daphne, I can't wait to spend the weekend with you. Here's my blog address in case you've never been there. I hope you enjoy it, and of course, feel free to share it with anybody else. Here's a card that my daughter Rainier made. She's very talented as well, and this was made with gelato and stickers. You can follow her on Instagram under Rainier or My 2-Year-Old's a Fearless Artist. Of course, I'm on Instagram too, under Anna Bradshaw or Craft with Anna. Here's a card that she and I made together. It's more fun to craft with family, isn't it? Thanks so much for watching this special edition of Packing for a Crop, Craft with Anna Adventure, and remember, don't overthink it when it comes to getting ready for the crop. You don't have to make all your final decisions today. Do trust your eyes. If you don't like the way it looks when you first put it down, don't take it with you. And choose photos that you love. They're so much more fun to scrap, and you'll be happier to come home with whatever you make with them. And it is really all about having as absolute much fun as possible, right? Okay, I'll see you at CK.